Here's the funny thing about ego. You don't have to argue with it. You just have to outgrow it. Most people think you break someone's ego by clapping back, raising your voice, or throwing that final gotcha line in an argument. But the real damage, it happens quietly. It happens when you stay calm, move smarter, level up, and let your actions slap harder than your mouth ever could. Today we're talking about the weird signs you're breaking someone's ego in silence, and they feel every microsecond of it. Let's get into it. 1. They suddenly forget to greet you. One of the funniest, pettiest, and most predictable ego reactions on earth is this one right here, when someone who used to greet you, smile at you, say hey, or act friendly, suddenly starts walking past you like you're an uninstalled update, like their brain rebooted and the file titled Basic Human Courtesy got deleted. The greeting didn't slip their mind. Trust me, this is not accidental. This is ego going through an emotional meltdown. See, when your silence, your growth, or your refusal to react the way they expect starts threatening their sense of importance, the first thing insecure people do is withdraw acknowledgement. They think ignoring you is a way of regaining power. It's like they're saying, look, I'm not going to fight you, but I will pretend you don't exist. That'll show you, and that tells you everything you need to know about the kind of ego you're dealing with. And people don't forget to greet you, they choose not to. And that choice comes from one of three things. 1. Your growth made them feel small. Maybe you leveled up emotionally, mentally, financially, or socially. Suddenly, the version of you they were comfortable with doesn't exist anymore, and instead of applauding your progress, their ego panics. 2. You stopped giving them attention. Some people only respect you as long as you validate them. The moment you pull back, boom, they enter silent warfare. 3. Your calmness makes their insecurity louder. Stoicism exposes people who rely on reaction-based power. Your silence is a mirror, one they don't like looking into. Ignoring you is their attempt to make the reflection less painful. Let me tell you a quick story, one I learned a lot from. A few years ago, there was this guy I used to hang out with at the gym. We weren't best friends, but we'd dap each other up, talk workouts, talk life, even grab food after training sometimes. Then one day, he just stopped greeting me. No what's up, no nod, no acknowledgement at all. He'd walk past me like I was a malfunctioning vending machine, visible but irrelevant. At first, I thought maybe he was going through something. Cool, I gave him space. But after 2 weeks of the same behavior, I realized something. This was intentional. Later, I heard from someone else that he felt threatened because I'd started getting more disciplined, lifting heavier, improving physically, and people were noticing. He thought I was becoming too confident. So instead of stepping up his own game, he chose the ego-childish path. Pretend I don't exist. Withdraw acknowledgement to feel superior. The crazy part, the moment I stopped caring, stopped trying to be polite, and just focused on my training like he wasn't there, suddenly he became uncomfortable. Suddenly he started observing me from across the gym. Suddenly he was the one feeling awkward. His ego didn't expect peace. It expected reaction. That's the moment I learned nothing exposes insecurity like someone who forgets to greet you. Stoicism teaches something brutally simple. You can't control people. You can only control your response. So here's how to win this situation without even trying. Don't chase acknowledgement. The moment you try to fix things, they feel powerful. Let silence do what silence does best. Reveal the truth. 2. Don't mirror their behavior from pettiness. Ignore them because you're genuinely unbothered, not because you want to get even. Focus on your lane. Your progress is why they're acting strange. Don't slow down to comfort their ego. 4. Greet them if you feel like it. Not out of weakness, out of confidence. A strong man offers respect even when he doesn't receive it, but he never begs for it. When someone suddenly forgets to greet you, it's not a loss, it's feedback. It tells you your presence is louder than their pride. Your growth is threatening their comfort. Your silence speaks where your words don't need. From a male perspective, this is where a lot of guys misunderstand power. Real strength isn't in forcing someone to acknowledge you. It's in understanding that their behavior has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their ego. Let them walk past. Let them pretend. Let them ignore. Because the truth is, they didn't forget. They noticed you more. And that's exactly why they can't greet you anymore. 2. They give compliments that feel like insults. It says, there's a special category of human being who can take what should be a normal compliment and twist it into something that makes you question whether they're praising you or sneak dissing you. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The people who say things like, wow, you're actually doing well. Damn, you look good today. Didn't expect that. You finally got a job. Good for you. That's impressive for someone like you. These aren't compliments. These are ego-protecting grenades wrapped in shiny wrapping paper. The whole point of these half-nice comments is to congratulate you while also reminding you that they never expected you succeed in the first place. It's like they want to give you a trophy, but only after they spit on it. And trust me, this type of behavior doesn't come from confidence or generosity. It comes from insecurity starving for air. When someone gives you a compliment that feels like an insult, it's because of one thing: you grew in a direction they didn't expect. They had you placed neatly inside a box. The unserious guy, the average guy, the quiet guy, the not that talented guy, the he'll never actually improve guy. And suddenly, you outgrew the box. You leveled up, you got better, sharper, more disciplined, more focused. So what happens? Their ego takes damage, but their pride won't let them admit they underestimated you. So instead of giving a genuine compliment, they do this weird halfway thing: praise mixed with bitterness, encouragement mixed with disbelief, admiration mixed with envy. They want to acknowledge your improvement, but they also want to protect the version of you that made them comfortable. And that's exactly what makes the compliment feel like a jab. Let me tell you something that still makes me laugh. Years ago, I used to be the guy who didn't take life seriously. Always late, always chilling, always making jokes. People never saw me as the disciplined type. Then something changed. I started taking myself seriously, became more focused, started leveling up financially, got into better shape, grew mentally. All the areas people didn't expect me to grow in, I did. And suddenly, the compliments people gave me got suspicious. A friend said, "Wow, bro, you're actually looking fit. Didn't think you had it in you." Another said, "You're making money now? Damn, I guess anything's possible." One woman even told me, "You're surprisingly wise. You used to be such a clown." These weren't compliments. These were ego bruises disguised as encouragement. The funniest part: the more I improved, the more insulting the compliments became. Because real admiration is calm, but insecure admiration is loud, shaky, and coated in envy. And once I saw the pattern, it clicked. People don't get mad that you changed. They get mad that you changed without their permission. The Stoic approach to these backhanded compliments is simple. 1. Don't correct them. Don't argue. Don't get offended. Don't say, "What do you mean by that?" Their words reveal more about their inner chaos than your worth. Accept the compliment. Ignore the poison. Let them choke on their own bitterness while you keep your peace. A calm, "Thanks, man," is the perfect answer. It shows you don't need their validation, and you're not fazed by their ego games. 3. Let your actions keep speaking. The more you grow, the harder it becomes for them to hide their envy. Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's about refusing to internalize someone's insecurity. 4. Understand the deeper message. Backhanded compliments are accidental confession. What they're really saying is, "You're doing better than I'm comfortable with. I didn't expect you to surpass me. You're proving me wrong, and I hate it." Take it as confirmation that your improvement is real. Signals that you leveled up. Your growth is visible. People who weren't rooting for you can no longer hide it. Your progress exposed their expectations of you. From a male perspective, this hits even harder. Men are expected to compete silently, and when one man evolves faster than another, the ego reacts in subtle, strange ways. The insecure man can't say, "Bro, you're doing better than me and I respect it." So instead he says, "You're doing well, I guess." He weakens the compliment to strengthen his pride. But here's the truth every man needs to hear. A backhanded compliment is still an admission of your progress. They didn't expect you to rise, and you did anyway. Take the praise, ignore the poison. Keep pushing, because the same people giving you insulting compliments today will one day be forced to give you real ones. And that's exactly why they can't greet you anymore. 3. They randomly disagree with everything you say. Do you ever talk to someone and realize they're not disagreeing because they have a different point? They're disagreeing because their ego refuses to let you be right. You could say the simplest, most universal truth in the world: the sky is blue. And they'll respond with, "Well, actually, it depends on light scattering, moisture, atmospheric conditions." Bro, relax. I didn't ask for a NASA briefing. I just said the sky is blue. This is what insecure people do when your growth, your calmness, or your silent confidence threatens them. They turn every conversation into a low-budget debate show. It's not intellect, it's not logic, it's not critical thinking. It's ego gasping for oxygen. When someone suddenly argues with everything you say, it's not about the topic, it's about you. Here's why they do it. 1. They feel like they're losing intellectual dominance. Some people used to feel smarter than you. Maybe you didn't speak up before. Maybe you weren't always confident, but now you speak calmly, you think clearly, you carry yourself differently. Their ego sees this as a threat. 2. They need to win to feel relevant. People who feel powerless in their own lives will try to gain power in conversations. Disagreement becomes their way of feeling superior. 3. They can't stand the idea of you being right. Your correctness challenges their mental image of you, and instead of updating that image, they try to drag you back to the old version. 4. They interpret your calmness as superiority. Stoicism makes insecure people feel judged, even when you're not judging. Your peace exposes their chaos, so they attack your words to regain balance. Let me tell you about this guy I used to work with. We weren't friends. We were those lunchroom associates that talk because they're in the same space. At first, everything was cool. We'd talk sports, money, business, but the moment my life started shifting, better fitness, better income, better mindset, my ordinary statements suddenly became debate topics. I'd say consistency is the real key to progress. He'd say, "That's not true. Some people just get lucky." I'd say, "I think waking up early helps with discipline." He'd say, "Not really. Waking up early is a scam." I'd say, "Drinking more water helped my skin." He'd say, "No, that's genetics. Water doesn't do that much. Every single thing." He disagreed with. One day I tested it. I said the most neutral thing ever. "I think weekends come too fast." He replied, "That depends on your mindset." Mindset? Bro, it's Saturday, not a philosophy class. That's the moment I realized he wasn't disagreeing with the message. He was disagreeing with the messenger. And the messenger was a version of me he didn't expect. A more confident, more grounded, more focused version. His ego felt the shift, and instead of leveling up himself, he tried to shrink me back down through constant disagreement. Stoicism gives you the perfect strategy for handling chronic contradictors. People who argue not because they're right, but because they're insecure. 1. Don't fight their ego. When someone is disagreeing out of insecurity, fighting back only feeds the problem. Respond with calmness, short sentences, zero emotional investment. Nothing starves an ego faster than not reacting. 2. Let them win. Not because they're right, but because you don't need the victory. When a man is secure, he doesn't crave the last word. 3. Avoid explaining yourself to the wrong audience. People who disagree with everything aren't listening to understand. They're listening to protect their self-image. Save your breath for people who respect your voice. 4. Keep your tone steady. Your calm, irritation-free responses expose their emotional instability. That alone is enough to break their ego further. When someone contradicts everything you say, it's not about intelligence or opinions. It's about control. They're trying to control how you see yourself, how others see you, how the dynamic feels, whether they feel superior. From a male perspective, this one hits especially deep. Men often compete silently through conversation. A guy who feels inferior won't tell you he feels inferior. He'll just turn every sentence you speak into a challenge. But here's what you must remember. You don't need to win arguments to prove your growth. Your growth is already the reason they're arguing. Let them disagree. Let them over-explain. Let them play intellectual tug-of-war with themselves. Because the stronger you get as a man, mentally, emotionally, financially, the more you'll notice this pattern. Insecure people argue with your words. Confident people understand your message. And wise people, they see the truth without needing to debate it. Or, they treat your success like a coincidence. One of the funniest ego reactions you'll ever witness is the moment someone realizes you're succeeding, but their worldview can't handle the idea that you actually earned it. So what do? They start explaining your success like you accidentally tripped, fell, and landed on a win. You didn't work hard, you just got lucky. You didn't grind, the timing was good. You didn't level up, someone probably helped you. You didn't improve, your situation worked out. They turn your sweat into coincidence, your discipline into chance, your consistency into bro, you were in the right place at the right time. It's hilarious, it's petty, and it's the clearest sign that someone's ego is cracking like an old phone screen. People treat your success like a coincidence. For one reason, your success destroys the version of you they're comfortable with. If you came from the same background, if you started with the same conditions, if they know your past flaws, your success hits them harder. Why? Because it reminds them that they could have achieved something too. They wasted time. They stayed the same. They didn't evolve. They have no excuses left. Instead of admitting that you worked harder, thought smarter, or stayed disciplined when they didn't, they protect their ego by minimizing your achievements. This is how fragile pride works. They can't say you earned it, so they say you're lucky. It's a psychological shield, a way of telling themselves they're not behind. You just got a short. Let me tell you a story that opened my eyes. Years ago, I started getting serious about life, gym, business, discipline, the whole package. Slowly, my results started showing. I wasn't bragging, I wasn't flexing, I was just improving. But one guy I knew, someone who used to clown me for being inconsistent, suddenly became an expert at rewriting my life story. When I got in shape, he said, "Bro, your metabolism is lucky. Some people don't build muscle that fast." When I got a better job, he said, "Bro, you got lucky. They probably needed people urgently." When I improved my finances, he said, "It's because you have free time. Not everyone gets that kind of opportunity. One day, he actually told someone his life changed because he met the right people. That's all. Mind you, he didn't see the 4 a.m. mornings, the nights I stayed home while he partied, the sacrifices, the hours of learning, the failures. No, to him, I was just a walking lottery ticket someone forgot to scratch. The turning point came when he said something that genuinely made me laugh. "You're lucky, bro. If life had gone differently, I'd probably be ahead of you." That's when I realized he didn't hate my success. He hated what my success said about his choices. And that's when it clicked. People who treat your achievements like accidents are really trying to protect their pride from your progress. Don't defend your success. Explaining your hard work to someone who's committed to misunderstanding it is a waste of energy. Your results are the explanation. 2. Accept their comment with calm confidence. A simple yay, maybe, or could be, ends the game. They expect you to argue. Not arguing destroys their psychological battle plan. 3. Keep succeeding quietly. Nothing punishes ego like your progress becoming undeniable. When your success grows beyond what they can label as luck, they're forced to face reality. 4. Distance yourself from minimizers. People who treat your success like coincidence will treat your failures like fate. They're not your supporters. They're your spectators. Your progress highlights their stagnation. Your discipline exposes their laziness. Your growth reminds them of their excuses. Your improvement triggers their insecurity. From a male perspective, this hits even harder. Men often measure themselves silently, using other men as reference points. So, when a guy they once looked down on suddenly rises, they feel something worse than jealousy. They feel confronted. And instead of confronting themselves, they rewrite your success story to protect their ego. But here's the truth they can't escape. You didn't get lucky. You got discipline. You didn't stumble into growth. You built it brick by brick. You didn't catch a break. You became the kind of man who creates his own breaks. So let them say coincidence. Let them say luck. Let them pretend your success was accidental. Because deep down, they know the truth. And that truth is exactly why their ego is breaking. 5. They give you delayed replies on purpose. Let's talk about one of the pettiest but most universal ego war tactics ever invented, the delayed reply. Not the "I was at work," not the "my phone died," and definitely not the "I fell asleep." No, I mean the intentional, ego-powered, psychological warfare-style delayed reply that only starts happening after you begin leveling up, glowing up, or simply refusing to bow down to someone's invisible hierarchy. Here's the crazy part. When someone feels their ego getting bruised by your growth, your confidence, or even your silence, one of the first pressure points they reach for is time. They know time is powerful, they know attention is currency, and they know withholding either just slightly, not enough to look like a villain, but enough to make you feel it, is one of the cheapest forms of control. And when they do it, they're not trying to communicate, they're trying to rebalance the psychological power in the room. Why they really delay their replies? Let's be brutally honest. People delay replies for one of 4 reasons. 1. Ego competition. Some people hate that you're no longer emotionally dependent on them. They see your self-control, your discipline, your progress, and suddenly they're like, wait, why isn't he seeking validation like before? Let me remind him who's the important one. So they respond 35 minutes later, then 2 hours later, then, oh, sorry, I slept at 3 p.m. And they do this with the precision of a surgeon. 2. They want you to chase. This is a classic ego game. If they can make you feel a tiny bit anxious, they feel a tiny bit powerful again. 3. Silent punishment. Bro, sometimes you didn't even do anything wrong. You just looked a little too confident. Or you didn't over-explain yourself. or you handled your business without announcing it to them, so they punish you with silence. 4. They start seeing you as a threat. Maybe you started working out, maybe you got a better job, maybe you stopped people-pleasing, or maybe your aura changed, you're calmer, clearer, more grounded. To someone whose ego relies on being above you, this is terrifying, so they delay responses so they don't look too available, because God forbid you think you're on their level. Let me tell you a story I wish I understood earlier. There was a guy I used to be cool with. When I was struggling, he replied to messages instantly. Instant. Zero delay. Almost too quick. But something changed when life started getting better for me. When I got promoted. When my physique improved. When I stopped tolerating nonsense and started setting boundaries. Suddenly, replies came in like they were being delivered by carrier pigeons. I'd send something at 2 p.m. He'd reply at 10 p.m. I'd respond immediately. He'd wait another 6 hours. But then I noticed something even funnier. When I didn't reply for a day, he'd reply instantly. Full paragraphs, double texts, voice notes. That's when I realized. This wasn't communication, this was ego fencing. He wasn't texting with intention, he was texting with strategy. It wasn't about the message, it was about the timing. He wanted to feel above me. He wanted to direct how valuable I felt. He wanted to silently dominate the space. That's when I stopped playing the game. And guess what? When I stopped feeding the ego loop, his whole strategy fell apart. He became normal again, or more accurately, the illusion of superiority collapsed. Here's the Stoic truth. People with fragile egos rely on reactions. Silence removes their fuel, and when you take away fuel, they panic. By not reacting emotionally to their delayed replies, by not double texting, by not asking, "Did you see my message?" You're sending a silent message, louder than anything you could ever say. My peace is not dependent on your attention, and that is what breaks their ego the most. This isn't about becoming cold or playing games back. Stoicism isn't about manipulating people. It's about mastering yourself. Here's what to do. Match energy, don't mirror insecurity. If they delay 10 hours, you don't have to do the same. Just stop offering urgency to people who don't offer respect. That's from the outcome. If someone needs ego games to feel relevant, they're not someone you should trust with your inner world. That don't chase clarity from unclear people. Confident men walk toward what's clear. Confused men chase confusion. That focus on reciprocal relationships. A delayed reply doesn't mean disrespect, but intentional patterns do. Value those who value you. Remember, emotional control is masculine strength. The moment you stop reacting, you stop bleeding power. As men, we're taught that being ignored is a challenge, that we need to fix it, that we need to prove something, that if someone pulls back, we should pull them closer. But the truth is, your peace is the most intimidating thing you own, and the moment you protect it, insecure people feel exposed. Their delayed replies are not a reflection of your worth. They're a reflection of their internal storm. A Stoic man stands firm, responds with intention, and refuses to negotiate his self-respect through a screen. Because real strength is not how quickly you reply, it's how calmly you act when someone tries to pull you into an ego battle you never signed up for. 6. They start copying you, aggressively. Let's get into one of the strangest, funniest, and most ego-exposing behaviors a human can display when someone starts copying you, like they're studying for an exam you didn't even know existed. And it always happens quietly. You start hitting the gym. Suddenly they're getting serious about fitness. You switch up your fashion. They show up the next week in the same aesthetic, but swear it's just a coincidence. You start reading philosophy, talking with depth, finding peace. Suddenly they're quoting Marcus Aurelius like they've been meditating on a mountain since birth. You level up, and they start mirroring you like their identity was waiting for yours to load. Here's the truth. People copy who they envy, not who they admire. Admiration appreciates, envy imitates. And when someone's ego feels threatened by your growth, the easiest way for them to feel equal again is to become a bootleg version of you. But when it's too intense, too sudden, and too obviously connected to your progress, it's not admiration, it's insecurity trying to keep up. Here's why they do it. When ego fear of being left behind. When you start evolving and they're still in the same place, their ego starts screaming, what if he surpasses me? What if he surpasses me? What if he outshines me? What if he becomes the one everyone listens to? To avoid feeling inferior, they adopt your habits, your style, your ideas, not to grow, but to compete. 2, they want credit for your path. Some people want to act like you are following them. They see you moving clean, disciplined, focused, and instead of saying, damn bro, that's inspiring, they try to copy it first, so they can claim, oh yeah, I've been doing this, he got it from me. They want to be the source, not the student. 3, envy turns into subtle mimicry. Envy isn't always loud. Most of the time it's quiet, polite, passive-aggressive. Instead of admitting I admire his discipline, they try to become you, because saying you inspire me would crush their ego. 4, they want your results without your struggle. You grind in silence. You build from zero. You develop character. They wake up one day, realize you've built momentum, and decide to copy-paste the visible parts of your life without doing the inner work that created them. That's why their version always looks forced, inconsistent, and slightly cringe. When is he? Back when I started taking self-improvement seriously, going to the gym, eating clean, waking early, there was a guy in my circle who always joked about it. Bro, relax, you're doing too much. You think you're some monk now. Gym again, damn. But after a few months, people started noticing my changes. Energy up, confidence up, focus razor sharp. Then out of nowhere, he became Mr. Fitness Guru. Bought the same gym bag, started wearing the same style of athletic clothes. Even copied the exact routine he saw me do down to my warm-up. I kid you not, he started listening to the same Stoicism audiobooks I mentioned once in passing. But here's what exposed his intentions. He wasn't trying to grow, he was trying to keep up. He was trying to neutralize the threat of my improvement. He wanted to say, see, I'm doing it too. He's not special. But when your growth is internal, their imitation stays external. And eventually they quit, because they weren't copying your discipline. They were copying your aesthetics. The craziest part, the moment I stopped reacting, complimenting, or validating his efforts, he stopped completely. Because some people don't copy you to win, they copy you to be seen. And when you don't give them that recognition, their ego starves. And nothing attacks an insecure person's ego more than realizing, I'm imitating the very person I'm competing with. It burns them silently, especially when you don't even notice. Or worse, you do notice, and you stay unbothered. Because true confidence is not threatened by imitators, it's validated by them. This is where Stoicism comes in. The goal is not to mock or belittle people. The goal is to stay centered, grounded, and unaffected. Here's what you do. Fake. Stay focused on your path. Don't slow down to avoid outgrowing people. Don't speed up to flex on them. Move with purpose. Let go of ego competition. If they're copying you, that's their internal issue. Your only job is to stay authentic. Avoid calling it out. Calling it out makes you look insecure. Silence makes you look powerful. Observe their intentions. Are they copying to grow, or copying to compete? Distance yourself from the second type. Stay humble but unshakable. You can inspire without being impressed. You can lead without trying to. Unspoken competitions about success, strength, purpose, identity. But here's the truth. A man who copies you is a man who has not found himself yet. A man who imitates you is a man who sees something in you he hasn't built. A man whose ego is bruised by your growth reveals the fragility of his foundation. Your role isn't to fix him, compete with him, or expose him. Your role is to continue mastering your craft, your mind, and your mission. When you stay committed to your journey, imitators fade, competitors burn out, and insecure people distance themselves naturally. Because nothing destroys a fragile ego like a man who grows silently, consistently, and unapologetically, while staying too grounded to notice whose identity he accidentally inspires. 7. They bring up your old mistakes out of nowhere. There is a special kind of ego panic that happens when someone feels you growing past the version of you they were comfortable with. And the easiest way for them to pull you back down is simple. They start reminding you of things you've already outgrown. Old mistakes, old failures, old insecurities, old versions of you that no longer exist. And the worst part, they don't bring it up to help you. They bring it up to humble you. Not in a healthy way, but in a petty, ego-defensive, let me drag you back to my level way. This is one of the clearest signs you're breaking someone's ego without even trying, because nothing threatens a fragile ego more than witnessing someone rise from the ashes of their old life. And when insecure people see you improving, glowing up, finding discipline, or gaining peace, they don't celebrate it. They bring up something you did 3 years ago like it happened this morning. Let's break down the psychology here. It's not random. It's not innocent. It's not just a joke. It's ego survival. 1. They want to anchor you to who you were. People who haven't grown can't handle watching someone else grow, so they use your past as an anchor to keep you from drifting too far ahead. They're basically saying, don't get too confident. Remember when you messed up. It's their way of restoring balance in their head. 2. Your evolution reminds them of their stagnation. Your growth is a mirror. When you improve, you unintentionally highlight the fact that they didn't. So instead of leveling up, they weaponize your past, because it's easier to drag someone backward than to push themselves forward. 3. They fear losing psychological advantage. When you were struggling, they felt superior. When you were insecure, they felt safe. When you were lost, they felt wise. But when you start leveling up, their ego feels exposed. So they reach for the only leverage they think they still have, your past. 4. They need to control the narrative about who you are. Once they've labeled you as the irresponsible one, the immature one, the one who messed up, your growth threatens their entire story about you. So they repeat the old story until they believe it again. Let me tell you something that hit me hard in my early 20s. I had a friend, cool guy, good heart, but very attached to the idea that he was the smart one, and I was the reckless one. Back then, yeah, I was wild. I made stupid choices, impulsive decisions, didn't care about discipline. But something changed. I got serious about my life. Started reading, started journaling, started going to the gym, started healing. Suddenly, I wasn't the same guy anymore. And you'd think he'd be proud, right? Now, every time we spoke, he'd say something like, "Remember when you failed that exam? Bro, you used to be such a mess. Don't act like you're some monk now, I know you." At first I thought he was joking, but then I realized I wasn't the one stuck in my past. He needed me to stay there so he didn't feel left behind. What broke the illusion was this: the more I grew, the more desperately he tried to drag me back. And the day I stopped reacting to the old version of me, he lost the power he thought he had. Today, we barely talk, not because of anger, but because my new identity doesn't fit the old dynamic he depended on. Because the strongest thing a man can say is, "Yes, I did that." and I grew from it. When you no longer hide from your old mistakes, they lose their grip. The person trying to hurt you ends up hurting themselves. Your peace exposes their insecurity. Your growth exposes their stagnation. Your acceptance exposes their judgment. How to apply this without losing your cool? This is where true Stoic discipline comes in. Don't defend your past. Defending means you're still ashamed. Own it instead. Don't get emotional. Your calmness is louder than their insult. Recognize the intention, not the words. They're not talking about your past. They're talking about their fear. Protect your energy from nostalgic negativity. Some people only remember the version of you that made them feel comfortable. Outgrow quietly. Growth is the best revenge you will ever have. Not loud, not public, just undeniable. Men don't talk about this enough. The pressure of becoming better while people around you cling to who you used to be. But hear this, you're allowed to evolve without permission. You're allowed to outgrow versions of yourself that others still recognize. You're allowed to move forward even if they stay behind. A man who brings up your past is a man threatened by your future. Do not shrink to fit the memory someone has of you. Do not apologize for outgrowing the story they prefer. Do not let anyone use your past as chains when you've already turned it into wisdom. The past was your teacher, not your prison. And the moment you walk confidently into the man you're becoming, their ego will break on its own, because they can't stand the fact that you're becoming someone they can no longer control, predict, or belittle. 8. They become loud around you. There's a certain type of insecurity that doesn't whisper, it shouts, literally. When someone feels their ego cracking in your presence, they suddenly become loud, louder stories, louder laughter, louder opinions, louder everything. It's like your calm existence triggers a full-blown performance. You walk into a room and their volume rises like they're trying to remind everyone, hey, don't look at him, look at me. And this is the funny part. They weren't loud before, they only became loud when you started glowing differently. Your silence makes their ego feel invisible, so they increase the volume to compensate. Because insecure people don't want to be noticed, they want to be louder than the person they're threatened by. Let's break this down. Psychologically, emotionally, and ego-logically. This isn't random behavior, it's a defense mechanism. 1. Your calmness exposes their inner chaos. Some people cannot handle a man who is composed, grounded, and self-contained. Your silence forces them to hear their own thoughts, and they can't stand it. So they drown it out with noise. They talk over everyone, laugh extra hard, tell exaggerated stories, interrupt conversations, try to dominate the space. Because volume becomes their form of validation. 2. They see you as a threat to their social status. Threat doesn't always mean physical threat. Sometimes it's presence, aura, energy. When you walk in with quiet confidence, they feel overshadowed. So they try to take back the room by being the loudest in it. Their ego is screaming, everyone pay attention to me. Don't let him look more composed than I do. This is not charisma. It's insecurity disguised as extroversion. 3. They think loudness will make you smaller. Some people believe that if they become the center of attention, you'll naturally fade to the background. But Stoic men don't compete for attention. We compete with who we were yesterday, and that's what drives them crazy. Your silence wins without trying. 4. They feel intimidated by your control. A man who doesn't have to be loud to be respected is dangerous to insecure people, because your presence alone challenges their need to perform. Your focus, your discipline, your boundaries, your quiet masculinity. It all forces them into an uncomfortable comparison. So they use noise to overwhelm the space you occupy. I remember a guy from my college friend group. Back then, I was laid back, didn't need to dominate conversations, didn't need the spotlight. But as I started focusing on myself, gym, reading, discipline, my energy shifted, and suddenly he got loud. Every time I walked in, he'd start talking with exaggerated confidence, extra gestures, louder voice, dramatic storytelling. It was like he turned into a circus announcer. One day, I asked another friend, "Why does he keep doing that?" And the friend said something that stuck with me. "He does it because you don't need to. You walk in and look like you've figured out something he hasn't." That's when it clicked. He wasn't loud because he was confident. He was loud because he felt threatened. The quieter and more stable I became, the louder his insecurity grew, and the moment I stopped reacting, stopped laughing excessively, stopped giving him attention, stopped trying to match his energy, he became even louder, then quieter, then avoided me entirely. Because nothing scares an insecure ego more than someone who doesn't need approval. Here's the irony: the louder they get, the more obvious their insecurity becomes, not just to you, to everyone in the room. People start noticing who's loud because they're confident and who's loud because they're insecure. And nothing humiliates a fragile ego faster than realizing their performance isn't convincing anyone. Your quiet strength exposes their noise for what it is, a mask. You don't need to match their energy. Stoicism isn't about reacting, it's about remaining centered. Here's how to handle loud egos. Stay grounded. Your calm is power. Loudness cannot overpower presence. Maintain slow, controlled speech. A slow voice makes loud people sound frantic. Don't fight for the spotlight. You shine by existing, not perform. Observe the insecurity without judging it. Their behavior reveals them, not you. Become unshakable. When they realize their loudness doesn't intimidate you, their ego collapses internally. Ego collapses internally. We are often taught that dominance equals loudness, that the one who speaks the most wins, but that's not masculinity. That's insecurity with a microphone. Real strength whispers, real confidence breathes, real presence doesn't need volume. If someone becomes loud around you, it usually means your silence is saying something their ego doesn't want to hear. Your discipline, your aura, your unbothered energy, your calm masculine presence, it disrupts the illusion they built for themselves. Remember this: a man who must be loud to be seen is weak. A man who can be silent and still command attention is powerful. Don't dim your presence just because others feel threatened. Don't raise your voice just because others are performing. Don't adjust your energy to match their insecurity. Stay calm, stay grounded, stay silent, because silence is not the absence of power. It's the presence of a man who no longer needs validation. 9. They celebrate your mistakes a little too happily. Here's one of the most insidious, ego-exposing behaviors you'll ever notice: when someone celebrates your mistakes a little too happily. And I'm not talking about casual jokes or light teasing. I'm talking about the type of celebration that feels almost performative, like they've been waiting for your slip-up for weeks. The kind of reaction that makes you pause and think, wow, they actually enjoy seeing me fail. You see, there's a subtle difference between witnessing someone's misstep with empathy and secretly relishing it because your success threatens them. When someone laughs too hard, shares your failure with a smirk, or exaggerates your misstep in front of others, it's not about humor, it's about ego correction. They're trying to bring you back down to the level they feel comfortable with. Let's dissect the psychology behind this passive-aggressive delight. And 1. Schadenfreude, pure, unfiltered envy. Some people take joy in seeing others stumble because it reassures them. It's subconscious. If you're failing, then their life isn't a complete disaster by comparison. The deeper the envy, the louder the celebration. and the more obvious it becomes that your growth has triggered internal insecurity. 2. They want to reinforce your old identity. People have a mental image of who you are, the older, weaker, inconsistent version. When you step into a better, stronger version of yourself, your mistakes, small or large, become a tool for them to reinforce that old narrative. See, he's still human, he still screws up, he's not perfect. Yes, we are human. Yes, mistakes happen. But their glee isn't empathy, it's ego preservation. 3. They feel threatened by your confidence. A man who owns his life, who doesn't seek approval, who walks with silent strength, is terrifying to insecure people. Your mistakes are tiny cracks in an otherwise unshakable image, and they grab onto those cracks like a lifeline, because their fragile ego can't handle a man who is mostly composed, mostly disciplined, and mostly in control. They celebrate your slip-ups because it temporarily restores balance in their mind. 4. They're subconsciously testing you. Sometimes people exaggerate their delight in your failures as a subtle test. Will you get defensive? Will you shame yourself? Will you apologize unnecessarily? And if you react emotionally, congratulations, they've won. But if you stay composed, they feel the sting of realized powerlessness. But once I started improving, fitness, skills, mindset, calmness, something changed. One day I made a minor mistake during a presentation. Nothing huge, barely anyone noticed, but Alex's reaction was way over the top. Oh wow. Did you see that? He messed up. He laughed louder than necessary, replayed it in front of others, and exaggerated my stumble like it was a 3-act drama. At first I felt irritated. Then I realized he wasn't laughing at the mistake itself. He was celebrating the idea that I wasn't perfect, that I could be humbled, that he could feel superior just for a moment. I didn't react. I didn't apologize. I didn't justify. I just kept working, kept improving. And the funniest thing, over time, the more I succeeded in every other area of life, the less joy Alex got from my mistakes. Eventually he stopped celebrating at all, because his ego realized my trajectory couldn't be shaken by petty moments. Here's the paradox. When someone celebrates your mistakes too much, they are revealing their own insecurity, not criticizing you. If you react with humility and calm, you actually break their ego further. They try to elevate themselves through your failure. You refuse to play along. Their sense of superiority collapses silently, and they don't know what to do. Every over-celebrated mistake is a mirror. It shows them who they are, someone desperate to feel bigger at your expense. Here's the Stoic strategy. Fuck. Acknowledge. Don't apologize. Say yes, I messed up, and move on. No need for drama. Fuck. Keep improving. Your growth is the ultimate countermeasure. Mistakes are temporary. Results are permanent. Fuck. Observe their reaction. Notice their celebration for what it is: ego preservation, envy, and insecurity. Fuck. Don't take the bait. Your composure is a weapon. They feed on emotional reactions. Starve the ego. Fuck. Distance if needed. People who regularly celebrate your missteps excessively aren't allies, they're spectators, sometimes predators. And yet insecure people love our failures more than they love our victories. But here's the truth. A mistake does not define you. Someone's enjoyment of your mistake does not diminish your value. Their ego is the only thing being shattered when you stay calm and continue rising. Your life, your trajectory, your discipline, and your composure are louder than any laugh, smirk, or celebration they throw your way. And the deeper lesson: men who are unshakable, who rise in silence, and who fail without fear, break egos without saying a word. Your mistakes are human. Their reactions are their problem. Your growth is unstoppable. 10. They feel uncomfortable with your peace. Here's one of the quietest yet most devastating signs that you're breaking someone's ego without saying a word. They feel uncomfortable with your peace. I'm not talking about chaos, loudness, or flashy displays of success. I'm talking about the calm confidence that radiates from a man who's disciplined, grounded, and unbothered by nonsense. Some people cannot stand peace because peace exposes what they lack. Peace reveals their inner chaos. And peace, most of all, highlights the fact that you are no longer dependent on their validation. When you walk into a room, carry yourself with focus, or sit quietly without needing attention, insecure people get antsy. You know that vibe, that strange twitch in conversation, that forced comment, that overcompensation in behavior. That's discomfort. They feel it. They can't handle it. And the longer you stay peaceful, the louder their internal alarm goes off. Ego, insecurity, and peace have a complicated relationship. They say, 1. Peace reflects control. They don't have. Peace isn't just silence. It's discipline. It's self-mastery. It's knowing your emotions, your focus, your purpose, and choosing not to let anyone steal it. When someone is chaotic, reactive, or emotionally unstable, your calm becomes a mirror. It says, look at what I have that you can't control. And that mirror is terrifying for fragile egos. 2. Your presence highlights their insecurity. Peace makes you appear untouchable. You don't overreact. You don't need approval. You don't beg for attention. And insecure people hate that because their identity often depends on others validating them. Your calmness exposes their desperation. It's uncomfortable because it reminds them that they're still chasing something you already own: composure, discipline, and independence. 3. They cannot compete with silent strength. A man who moves quietly, thinks clearly, and reacts deliberately is intimidating without lifting a finger. You don't need to boast, exaggerate, or perform to demonstrate your power. And for someone used to dominating through noise, drama, or chaos, your silent strength is a threat. They feel the pressure without understanding why. 4. They fear being outshined. Peace is a silent form of dominance. When you sit still, breathe calmly, and let the world unfold around you, people notice. Your aura says, I'm not chasing, I'm not reacting, I'm free. For someone clinging to ego-based relevance, this is unbearable because it's a reminder that respect, admiration, and influence aren't demanded. They're earned, and you've already earned it. I remember a friend from a previous job. Let's call him Ryan. Ryan was competitive, loud, and always trying to run the room. I wasn't flashy. I wasn't loud. I didn't compete for attention. I simply focused on my work, stayed calm under pressure, and carried myself with quiet confidence. At first, Ryan didn't notice. Then he started acting weird, interrupting conversations unnecessarily, trying to get laughs where none were needed, making little comments, asking trivial questions, nudging drama. I realized he was uncomfortable, not because of anything I said or did, but because of my presence. I was unbothered, I was disciplined, I was peaceful, and that made him twitch. Instead of confronting the reason for his discomfort, he tried to create distractions, noise, chaos, unnecessary arguments. But here's the kicker. The more he tried, the more obvious it became to everyone else that his insecurity was the real problem. By staying calm, grounded, and unreactive, I didn't just protect my peace, I highlighted his lack of it. And nothing dismantled his ego more quietly than my silence and composure. Your peace removes their influence. Their frustration grows because you are untouchable, not through force, but through calm presence. When someone reacts to your peace, It's not a reflection of weakness on your part. It's a reflection of their inability to deal with stability, confidence, and inner strength. Your peace is a silent sledgehammer to fragile egos, and the best part, they never see it coming. Here's how to master your energy and break fragile egos quietly. Remain unshaken. Do not engage with attempts to disrupt your peace. Wait, don't justify or explain. Peace speaks louder than words. Wait, observe, don't react. Notice discomfort. It reveals insecurity, not a flaw in you. Maintain discipline. Your habits, calm responses, and steady presence are more powerful than any argument or display. Wait, let your silence communicate. Sometimes saying nothing and existing confidently is enough to make an insecure person collapse internally. Men are often trained to seek validation through action, words, or dominance. But true strength is inner mastery. Your peace is a form of power. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't compete. It simply exists, unmoved by chaos, drama, or ego game. When you cultivate this kind of peace, insecure people will feel it. They'll become uncomfortable. They'll twitch. They'll try to disrupt. But your quiet composure will always break their fragile egos more effectively than confrontation ever could. You cannot control others' insecurities, but you can control your presence. And a man who masters his peace silently dominates a room full of egos without saying a single word. And there you have it. The subtle, silent ways you can break someone's ego without saying a single word. If you've been paying attention, you've probably noticed that it's not about being loud, aggressive, or confrontational. The real power lies in your calm, your growth, and your presence. Every glance, every choice, every moment of composure chips away at fragile egos around you. And the beautiful thing? You don't have to try. They crumble all on their own. That's the art of silent strength, the Stoic way of life. Improve yourself, stand firm, and let your energy do the talking. So, the next time someone reacts strangely to your success, peace, or confidence, smile inwardly. Their discomfort isn't a threat, it's proof that you're moving on, growing stronger, and becoming the man they can't control. Remember, the world respects quiet power far more than empty noise, and men who master themselves silently dominate more than anyone who tries to shout their way to the top. If you found this valuable, hit like, share it with someone who needs a reality check, and subscribe for more deep dives into Stoicism, silent power, and the unshakable life you deserve. Keep growing, stay calm, and watch the world scramble to catch up.